Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're doing a review of a turbo cleave in twos. Before I start, thanks for everyone who's been tuning into the stream. The 0 to 2400 no achis challenge has been really cool. That video will come out on Wednesday or Tuesday. Apart from that, thanks to everyone who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. It's really cool. We've been talking to a whole bunch of warriors doing the coaching stuff. There is only a single sort of slot for the hour-long coaching at the moment, and then there's a couple of the 30-minute ones still left, and then unlimited $4 options. And I'm going to be publishing more exclusive content for all the Patreon soon. So that's it's much appreciated for supporting me on there. And yeah, if you want to watch some of the challenge live, head to the Twitch as well. Send it a follow, and you can watch that live too. Let's jump into the clips. So today we are seeing Turbo versus FMP. This is around 2k CR, and everyone sort of seems pretty well geared. I watched a couple of the other clips, and these guys sort of have a good idea of what's going on. So we kind of push into the front here in D stands, which is fine, and we get onto the Paladin. This isn't a bad strategy because it just puts pressure on them straight away to open, and the Hodge is okay too. We see this poly here, and we have to get that intervene macro. So we don't have to mouse over. Because if you watch that, there was like this second delay, half a second delay or something, where you're like trying to get this and you're disoriented, and you probably could have stopped that. You probably could have got the intervene had you had the macro there. So work on that one. Your shaman is taking big dam. We rally. This is good. We're hitting the feral. Feral's not a bad option. And yeah, I think here you kind of want to start to get some dam out though. You have Colossal Smash, you have Avatar. The longer you hold these spells, the less kind of like you probably can get multiple every game if you just use them on cooldown almost. So putting that pressure down is good, but this is a nice Blade Storm too. Hitting the Feral off, and we have Intervene soon, so we can help our Enhancement Shaman as well. And this is kind of a bit awkward because your Enhancement Shaman is dragging your whole team out to chase. But they don't really take advantage of that, and you're able to safely push up, which is good. We're rooted now. This is one thing where it's probably pretty good sometimes to save your avatar, just to kind of avoid issues like that, where you might get rooted in the map and cross CC'd. It seems like we're sort of splitting targets here, which I'm not sure is the best kind of strategy. I think maybe it might just be because you couldn't connect to the mage. So it's all good now. Might just be to keep time up. Here we see the Cyclone being cast. Not sure who that's on. It was probably grounded. Was that grounding? And we have Lust here, which is good. We can do big dam here. The Blaze Storm's nice because it syncs up really nicely with this 1 minute go. And we might be looking to intervene as well soon. If your like Shaman feels like it's in any bit of trouble, but the Fear's not a bad alternative as well. Considering that the Feral has no trinket. Intervene comes out. Cyclone's being cast. We get the kick on it, very nice. And here we have some damage again. Colossal Smash soon. We get the stun off, and yeah, nice damage coming out here. We get the Ignore Pain. Feral's off healing pretty hard. It's kind of this kind of matchup is you're going to see a lot of off healing here, but you've got his court. So it's looking pretty good for you at the moment. Your guy's taking a bit of dam here, so it's a bit scary. This is probably where you could consider intervening him, just to stop some of this damage. Could have eaten the spear, but the stun there, but they haven't really taken too much advantage, and the stun of the Feral is kind of a good alternative to peel damage. We get the Shatter out here. Just nice. He's sacked anyway, so instead of shattering, you could probably just hit the Feral, because if he's going to sit that while it's sacked, it's kind of bad for him. We unfortunately overlap Overwatch and intervene there, so have to be careful because we don't have intervene for our enhancement anymore. So we're not going to be able to peel this damage off. We're kind of low on kind of offensive help. Nice. I think we kick and unfortunately share the same thing as well. So just need to kind of work and try and communicate with your team on who's doing what. We fear that it gets bopped. I think he steals your bop. I can't really tell. So it seemed very short. And we get the kick on the poly. So this is actually quite good. And I think this macro is really something you need. And the intervene on the on the enhancement is probably better than overwatching that anyway, in my opinion. Overwatching the clone, unless you can guarantee the stop there. Unfortunately, I think we sort of um, maybe like here your enhancement probably should have communicated that he needs to get out of there, or how much trouble he was in. It looks a bit unfortunate actually now that I look at it again, because there's this gap where your paladin didn't have bubble for a couple more seconds, like literally 1 second. So what could we have changed? Because to be honest, throughout the whole game, it was like okay. I think our intervene usage could have been a bit better. But what kind of led us to this point? This Ring of Frost being cast, and get the blind there. I think it was a bit further ahead where this kind of all goes downhill. So the Feral is pushing up on your guy here, and yeah. So I guess actually if you Overwatch that, that would have been huge. But the intervene here is not a bad alternative. We don't have fear right now, which would have been really nice. If you had fear here, can't see it on your bars actually. Wherever it is on your bars, having fear here would have been nice. I think it's on a minute cooldown. So where do we use our last fear? We used our last fear, DR, to stop a random poly that I don't think they really had a go out of yet, because your enhancement shaman's getting what's it called, feared anyway. So you can sort of see the sort of wasting that means that on this go, where this guy trinketed, he's literally got no out for your fear. He has no block, nothing. Maybe Bob from the Paladin. I'm not sure if he has that or not, but that would have been the only stop. And I think his Paladin used a Bob already on him. So he probably would have been out of Bobs as well. So yeah, we just got to get better at holding some of our stuff. Maybe kind of communicating this Overwatch kick shear rotation a bit tighter, because it sort of seemed like you guys were crossing over a lot, which is going to happen, but generally that's not a huge deal. But yeah, I think it's a bit of communication there, a bit of rotating kicks a bit better, and then really thinking about, when do I need to fear here? Like, what value is this fear adding? I'm stopping a poly, but this is a 1 minute 30 cooldown or something that has the opportunity to completely peel their go. Like if the mage has no trinket, and you have fear, you completely shut down that combustion. If you looked at your cooldowns, the cooldowns that your team had, at the point that you feared, your team had literally no cooldowns. He has got no wall. He has a trinket, which is whatever. He's got no stun, no bubble, no wings. He has a single bob, which he uses there, and they get stolen as well. I think maybe this go could have been a bit scarier, but it's sort of unfortunate how that went down. I think the real go here was when your paladin was actually CC'd with something, and maybe if you landed that poly, you'd be a bit more scared earlier in the game. But generally, like how they're sort of playing at the moment, you just blinded the Pally. Pally might want to go here, but this is every single cooldown, so I think you probably could have held the fear a bit longer against that. And having that fear there kind of lets you win. Also, the fear didn't even hit the Feral Druid, which is kind of a factor, because if you hit the Feral Druid, maybe you'd have no trinket, you could peel his damage a bit better. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Apologies if any of this kind of looks washed out as well in the gameplay, because yeah, I'm sort of recording another screen. So we'll hop on to the Hpal AffLock game, which is a couple minutes long. So maybe let's jump into. Okay, this UI is not my favorite, but let's jump in here. Cool. We'll just go from the start then. So we're running in. I'm not sure what talents we have, and we get coiled here. Just not bad, not a big deal. The UAs are coming out. We stun. We're in D stance now, and we're colossal smashing. We swap into B stance, which is good. Nice. We see the wall come out. We get the hex there too, so we got a lot of pressure here. Leap is good. Leap fear. I like that. We get his trinket from that. Hpal's trinket from that, and you have a lot of pressure on this dude. I can't see where the enemy team's buffs are. Oh, it's over there. Yeah, I'm just sort of trying to get my head around this UI. I almost feel like this UI makes it more complicated than it makes it simpler. Um, so yeah, this pressure's decent. You have good damage output here, and we get the bop there. Shatter on the bop, unfortunate. I think your shaman probably could have, probably could have gotten that. And anyway, because it's Dark Soul, we might like. I feel like we would have wanted to bail out here anyway, and just lined. Um, this Paladin Waste is blind here. It's not super big deal, but I think this spear was a bit ambitious. Maybe we should have just waited. Like we could have just stunned into the spear because we use them anyway. Yeah, we use it there, and there they both jump off the Blade Storm. It's not bad. We get to connect, but I think you kind of want to think about how you like they're gonna try and peel you on your go. So having Blade Storm's kind of nice to really just secure the damage in. Like if he coils you when he's low health. He uses Void thing, leaps away. So I don't know how much mobility we have now. I think this gap is going to make a pretty big difference. One way we could have closed this gap is maybe, you could avatar if you really want to get connect here because you're probably in range where you can almost piercing Howl is almost up cooldown, so you could avatar piercing Howl, or even just like reflect to fear or something because it just puts him out of combat. But yeah, if we can't connect like that, it might be worth considering just lining if your healer's having a hard time healing through this. The spear comes out, which is good. We have good pressure here. We have fear too. So yeah, we fear off that maybe. Oh, cool. We get bubble. Uh, I think we look there to see if we shatter. Might need to clean your like action bar so you can see your cooldowns a bit easier as well. Just because it's really hard to see what you have there when it's all stacked up like that. Or make a weak aura just to track your big important cooldowns. The fear comes out there, which is nice. I think he's running like concentration aura, so it must be like that conduit that reduces the length of fears. We get a short hex off, and then the UA comes out. Well, this next UA is probably aimed at you, but he covers it with a coil, so maybe you can try and look at reflecting here. Nice, you get the reflect on him. I think you got the reflect on him because you don't have UA on you now. And we charge there, but he has a blink, so it might have just been worth like trying to slow him and then stun instead of charging straight away. So that like once you connect to him, he uses this port, and then you have like charge to get to him the second time. This is Dark Soul Wall, so to be honest, you can kind of stun this and run. We really need to stun when he does these like spams Malefic like that. It's just putting so much pressure on your healer to heal through this. And healer's doing quite a good job to help you live there. He does get the gate. We need to like watch using spear when he's near a gate because if he's like even anywhere close, it breaks our spear, which is one of the big ways that we actually kill Athlocks. So somewhat decent pressure here from the enemy team. You guys aren't looking too healthy at the moment, so we need to look at turning that around. The game goes for quite a bit longer, so let's skip in a little bit. Try and see where the next goes are coming up. Okay, so I think it must just be sort of similar the whole time. Obviously, the same issues we mentioned before, mobility, and doing stuff like that. But I kind of want to see what kind of causes us to lose here. Okay, how much longer is this? This is a long game, to be honest. Wouldn't expect you guys to live that long. Cool, this seems interesting. Okay, so we got an Hpal, which is good. And then the swap here. Again, we're kind of eating these Dark Souls. I need to kind of decide whether we want to commit to purge those Dark Souls or we want to just get out of there. This Blade Storm's good. You're getting huge amounts of damage here. We get the bubble again. It's been quite a long game. You're like very deep into dampening. Oh, and you actually do get to kill him. Wait, does he live? Oh no, don't tell me he lives. Oh, he lives, but maybe you kill him again? Oh, this is tilting, hey. This is a tilt. I hope you kill this dude, man. We are very low in HP as well, and dampening's kind of kicked in. Oh, dude. I almost feel like I didn't want to see the end of that game. Maybe I should have ended on the pod. But yeah, generally what I saw throughout the game was sort of, a bit of misuse on some of your mobility. You need to really think about your charges, your stuns, your spears, because messing any of those up means he has this pretty big distance advantage all game. And if you kind of let that continue to happen, you're gonna have a really hard time having any pressure. So there's two options you can do if you feel like you've wasted your mobility against the AffLock. You either go in line until all your mobility's back and just like mount up and almost start the game again, or you stay out there and try and like reflect a fear, reflect something, ask your healer for help maybe, or use something like Avatar or Blazestorm to connect the last few yards. Because a lot of the time the lock is only a couple yards ahead of you, so you can close that gap with them with some effort into getting there. But overall, yeah, I think you guys played pretty decently to live that long. So it's just sharpening up those offensive goes. And then with the pod, it's kind of a shame. I feel like your shaman probably should have just committed with lava burst at the end, rather than trying to heal you. Because yeah, that was just unfortunate. But it is like that if you kind of can't close the game out when you play into AffLock teams, you will slowly die as dampening increases. Okay, guys. Hopefully these were helpful. Not super crazy games. Nothing too wild happening in these. But yeah, if you want to send yours in, of course check the Discord. And yeah, we'll be posting the first challenge video starting tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace out.